Therapy is about as human as things can get. Two people discussing their human experiences and emotions with each other and just being able to get out their darkest times. People are now resorting to another form of therapy, generative AI therapy, which, although it seems nice, the fears of a therapist's office being scary to many, horror stories online with real therapists really scaring all of us, it's not as great as it sounds. Today we're going to discuss the AI therapy issue. We will go over the humanity disconnect, as well as the HIPAA law violations, and the environmental impact that using generative AI can cause on the world. As I said, therapy is as human as things can get. Just two people talking and discussing, somebody comforting the other. Robots can't do this unless they're prompted to, which even if they're prompted to, does that mean that they'll give you a response that will align with what you're seeking for? Humans are much more susceptible to doing this as they have shared emotions with you, as well as experiences that they can relate to you, as well as years of training that can also get them to give you a correct response. According to Brown University, many bots get confused when you ask them for simple tasks and responses. Therapist bots are much more complex. The Brown University shows that 93% of humans give a correct and accurate response in therapy sessions, while only 60% of these bots give a correct response. That gap is huge, and the less we realize it, the more it grows. HIPAA law violations are really serious things. You hear about it when you go to the medical offices in your town or when you have a doctor's visit. They're meant to protect our privacy. Therapy bots only talk to you and when they're prompted, give you responses that somewhat answer your concerns. HIPAA laws are way more in depth than these bots can ever comprehend, as they only spew out what their creators have taught them to. According to Brown University again, many of these bots are programmed for racism, as well as being against certain genders and certain opinions, which makes these bots way unreliable and leads to a breach of information when these bots don't operate correctly. Not to mention that, but the multiple laws and the HIPAA law violations discuss that when the breach of information happens, then these bots aren't properly programmed to display this to their recipient, as these bots can only tell you what they're prompted to tell you, and they don't have to tell you that they spewed your information to these companies and it got sold. Along with this, let's talk about the elephant in the room, that being the actual elephants on our planet. You may see this as a minuscule issue, but the amount of water that these bots take to train is astronomical. Let's think about this elephant, for example, and the world that they walk on, as well as we do. The amount of fresh water that they consume, as well as us. And then let's think about how much of that is given to these generative AI bots just to train them, and then how much it takes just for you to give one response to them. According to the University of California, Riverside, the mass amount of water that is depleting from our natural resources is insane. And this study shows that training one ChatGPT bot takes 700,000 liters of our fresh water that could be drank and provided to people all over the world. That number is insane compared to the water that we consume each and every day. Now let's think about this. Companies like Fruitly are very well known. People see them as an easy option to go to and something that they can rely on because they don't have to give their information to a real person, and because real people are scary to some people with anxieties and underlying issues. But This just pushes the issue that people are relying on these robots an insane amount ever since the global pandemic has spread. And if we take a step back, after learning this information today, we can really see that, are these bots really as harmless as we see? Are humans that scary when it comes to using all of our fresh water? Today, we discussed the humanity gap between the robots and the humans, as well as the HIPAA law violations that comes with using an AI chatbot for therapy, as well as the mass water shortage that will follow if the use of these AI bots continue. I want you to think about this the next time you use an AI chatbot, whether it be for therapy or in general. Think of all the water that it's using, the violations that it can do against you, as well as that it's not human. Thank you.